The Fright Nights 2020 lineup has been revealed, so now we're going to go through and look at everything you need to know before you go to the resort this year for Fright Nights. So let's get straight into it. So first off then, everyone, we're going to go through the horror experiences this year, not the mazes just yet. We're going to go through the experiences that will be at the resort this year. So starting off with Creek Freak Unchained. So on the website, Creek Freak Unchained has the same description as the horror maze Creek Freak Massacre had last year. Love that maze a lot. Isn't returning to this year, which I am quite sad about, but instead we're going to be having a scare zone open from 3 PM inside of Old Town. This is free to enter. It's a scare zone. The first ever time we've really had a proper scare zone, or at least that's what I hopefully think it will be, a proper scare zone at Fright Nights this year. On to the next experience. So the next scare zone is the Festival Arena, which we're getting quite a few scare zones this year, which I'm quite happy about. New for 2020, a mysterious Morangi has rolled into the heart of the island, but is it all just smoke and mirrors? Step into the dusty and dilapidated Festival Arena and witness the notorious Compere and their freakish cast astonish and disturb their willing spectators. The carburet of carnage may sound fun, but it will leave you shaking in fear or grinning in awe. Sorry if my pronunciation with some of that stuff is wrong there. But this will be located in a dockyard from 3 PM. It is free, included with your Fright Nights ticket. And also, I forgot to add before we started, Fright Nights is going to be renamed to Fright Nights Festival this year, which I'm not really sure why they needed to rename it. Maybe it's because the mazes aren't really a big hit. I mean, there's only 2 mazes this year, which is a bit of a shame, but we'll get into those in a bit. On to the next scare zone. Next up is the Howling of Thorpe High scare zone. Chill out in the twilight with the students of Thorpe High, but keep your wits about you and pray the moon isn't full. These creatures can be a little boisterous. New for 2020, you're invited to the Howling of Thorpe High, and they're on hunt for new recruits, but be warned, their bite is worse than their bark. So this is another scare zone, located opposite the Cantina from 3 PM. The Cantina is the new pasta and rice curry place. I think that's where Crust was last year, and I think that I believe that is on the old site of Big Top as well. I don't really know what to think of this, to be honest. It seems like it'll be a werewolf scare zone, which I'm not really that fussed about, but I have to do these experiences. All these experiences will be reviewed on the channel at a later date when I do get around to going to Fright Nights. But on to the next experience. Next up is the Swarm Invasion. When I first saw this, I thought they're bringing back Brave It backwards, and I'm completely wrong. It's Thorpe we're talking about here. But new for 2020, enter the dystopian wasteland after dark as the swarm has invaded, leaving a path of carnage and desolation in its wake. Head with caution as you pass through this alien-infested landscape and pray you are abducted by these otherworldly extraterrestrials. The Swarm Invasion, the end is now. So this will be located on Swarm Island from 3 PM, free as well. I believe this will probably work as a scare zone pretty much around Swarm. I'm guessing it'll be like the roaming actors we had around the park the year before the Swarm opened. I feel like some of this stuff here is just going to be filler for obvious reasons. We can't really have indoor mazes and as many mazes this year because of the pandemic. And it's better than nothing, but I might not be saying that when I go and do it. But on to the next experience. Next up is Terror Amity High scare zone. It's another scare zone. It's the exact same as what Amity High was last year. I believe they will be having the show that they did. There is I did do a video of it on the channel. I'll leave it in a card on the top right corner of the screen. I'm not going to read out the descriptions. I'm pretty sure it's the same as last year. It's located by Stealth from 3 PM. Next up is Screenplex Cinema. I don't really care about this one, to be honest. It's included in the ticket. It's going to be Angry Birds 4D, as that's all you really need to know. Next up is The Crows. I'm going to read out the description now. Near the crows, nobody goes. Are they watching? Nobody knows. Myths passed down from generation. Did that just move, or was it your imagination? They roam and creep in the dead of night, but blink and they're gone, out of sight. Near the crows, nobody goes. Are they watching? Nobody knows. Appearing at various mystery locations from 3 PM. So basically, these are just going to be roaming actors around the park. Whether they're any good, I doubt it. But it feels like more filler stuff, really, which I guess I can kind of understand. But we're going to get onto the last horror experience now before we get onto the mazes. So the last horror experience is Rise in the Dark. They're including this as an actual experience. Why? Why? Enjoy world-class rides in the dark, such as the UK's only wind coaster, the Swarm. Brace yourself on Stealth, one of Europe's fastest and tallest coasters. Plunged 100-foot beyond vertical drop of the movie-themed coaster Saw the Ride. Take on the world's first 10-looping coaster, Colossus, and undergo 5Gs on the sizzling inverted coaster Nemesis Inferno as you spin, dive and swoop over 750 metres of twisting track at speeds of up to 50 miles per hour. Obviously this is included in your ticket whether you go for Fright Nights or not, but obviously it's going to be in the dark. Why they really need to include it as an experience, I don't really know. But let's get on to the last two things, but will be the two horror mazes landing at the resort for this year. Thorpe Park seem to be trying to make some money back here because the two mazes you have to pay £10 for. £10. But anyway, the first one we get onto is the new for 2020 maze, Roots of Evil Scare Maze. Unearth the horrors that lurk within a forsaken forest and prepare to meet the terrifying abominations that dwell within. Move discreetly through the dark undergrowth and pray your presence goes unnoticed or risk becoming one of the forgotten forever. I think I did go and see some construction of this with Elliot around down Monk's Walk a couple of weeks ago, and I thought it just maybe Blair Witch was coming back, but it seems like it will just be a re-theme of Blair Witch. Maybe they've lost the IP, or maybe they're just not doing it anymore. But it will be located in the jungle opposite Wilderness Waffles, which is by the Huntsman Chicken, and next to Jungle Escape and where I'm a Celebrity was in Vulcan Peak a couple of years ago as well. That is not included in your entry ticket. You have to pay £10, as I said, for it. That's just too much. There's no pictures of it here on the website, so as far as we know so far, there's no information for that. But on to the last scare maze. The last scare maze that will... the last scare attraction, that we'll be talking about in this video is Platform 15 is returning again. I've paid £10 for this one as well. I'm not impressed with this. But I can kind of understand they're trying to do it because obviously the pandemic, they've lost a lot of money. Everyone has lost a lot of money during the pandemic. But, I might do this like once or twice, but I don't think Platform will be the same as it is because when I last went to Thorpe Park a couple of days ago, the tunnel wasn't there, and I know construction hasn't really started that much yet. But I feel like they can't really operate the tunnel this year because the way you hold on to people's shoulders and stuff like that. But, yeah, so that's all of the scare experiences we'll be going over in this video. If you did enjoy, please smash the like button, subscribe if you're new. It really does mean a lot. And I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.